when people are trying to get into business, I think there is a lot of dynamics. Co-founders, very big dynamic. Now, this is something that we've been very lucky with.
Yeah.
I think few things that we've been very lucky with is the fact that we are both, again, sort of or delusionally optimistic about a lot of things.
Exactly.
And it's through a lot of practice and experience that we've realized
That's actually a good thing.
it's a good thing. At the same time, we've realized when to be delusionally optimistic and when not to be. I think it started to like refine, and we've started to realize a main critical thing that a lot of these guys should possess is learning to cut losses, learning when to know when do we drop the thing, when do we stop the project, when do we, like stop the feature. Because if it is stopping you from executing and like moving forward, if you're not making progress, if you're just working on stuff that really doesn't matter, it's very easy to do that. You're not going to get anywhere and you're just fooling yourself. And that's where, the trap of that delusional optimism. But without it, you're not really going to do anything.
Exactly.
So,
I remember watching like two videos of the Diary of the CEO.
hmm,
One video was like the founder of Ordinary. So Ordinary is like I told you, know, it's like the skincare company. It's like a very simple skincare. It's very popular.
yeah, 4 ingredients or something.
Yeah, it's like they're fully transparent.
Yeah.
It blew up, very successful. Started in Canada, by the way. And you should actually watch that video. It's the co-founder is actually a lady.
Oh,
So they're talking like the diary of the CEO and the lady.
right.
But it's very interesting what she went through, and it's this co-founder dynamic where she was working in London or somewhere. She met this guy, and they're like, okay, let's build a company together. They built a company, and one of the product they had like 9 failed products or something. And the 10th product was the Ordinary, which is the skincare company. In a year, it took off. It started blowing up, and in the diary of the CEO, she mentions that her co-founder started going insane.
Insane. As a like,
He started taking drugs.
oh,
He started taking different kinds of stuff. Really, really went berserk, and that really started affecting her mental health. The company was at chaos. He fired her.
unfired her.
He fired her.
There's a clause like that? Like you're allowed?
You are not allowed to. He just fired her. He fired multiple employees who were trying to help him. So everybody loved him. He was this one guy who was like super charismatic, and then he just went tux. And she said that was like the most depressing time of her career. And everybody was like, "What is going on with this person?" Like, he's like, he was like a normal. Imagine she explains it in such a manner that he was a normal person
Hmm.
who just turned to a different person completely.
Like it's overnight, he was just someone else. Like something.
Yeah, and she is like, I don't know this guy. Like, it's a very like I don't know why. Like, it's a very thing. She's like, I don't know what happened. She her said this thing. I don't know what happened to him. Like, it just completely changed. And in a few months, he apparently took his own life.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And he didn't leave anything behind, no notes, no clues. I'm not sure.
He did. So he had a partner.
Okay.
He's like, if the partner was a he. So if the partner doesn't handle everything, give it to the girl, the co-founder. And apparently she was saying that maybe, so she didn't know he had a partner. It's a very interesting podcast. You actually have to listen to it. It's a very, I get no gripping story. It's a very gripping story. And I'll tell you why I'm like so impressed with this lady. He passes away and the company is in nobody's hands. And the investors are like,
What the heck?
yeah. So they called the lady back. And the lady is like 6, 7 months pregnant. So she has a baby. And the company is at chaos. Like the company, they lost all their like early team. So the early team is like the core team to like lead the company. The company is doing really well, as in people are buying the products. So the company is, people want their products, but
This hide.
internally it's chaos. She comes on board. I am like trying to think from a very mental strength standpoint how strong she must have been to like do this. I think she was 7 months pregnant. I don't remember exactly, but she was like really in the end stages of pregnancy. She took over the company. She called back all the team members herself, established the company, did everything. Then
Damn.
it's a very, 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 very interesting.
Like, how do you have the ability to just step back and after everything that's happening, especially with your partner?
Think about this. Like, you started the company with a co-founder who was like a person you thought you know like really well. The co-founder goes berserk. He kicks you out of the company. So it's like more like a co-founder betrayal kind of a situation is what I would think.
Yeah.
And then you're pregnant at this time. You have gone through the worst depression of mental instability because of the entire thing. Because one, your co-founder didn't just betray you. He's gone berserk. Yeah. But you are gonna do about it. Yeah. Yeah. You genuinely, she's saying, I genuinely care for you, but I don't know what happened to. And he hates me. Just I'm trying to help him with all the thing and he doesn't like it. And then he passes away, which is going to be an even bigger thing.
Plot twist of the plot.
And then you're supposed to come back to that company and get the company
Back in out of like,
so you're supposed to get all your team members and then and you're pregnant at this step. And after you give birth, it doesn't end there. You have a baby, so you born baby. How do you do this? Very interesting story. You genuinely have to watch it. It's one of those co-founder. What would you call this? It's a very
this is one, I mean, this is exactly what I talk about, when we explain the idea of entrepreneurship, this is the side that nobody sees. This is the side, this is the adventure, this is like the path that like nobody understands. Or at least there are probably people who do. It's just not highlighted.
yeah. I think people are too young or naive. Like
Oh yeah.
there might be like girls who are like, I wish I was her. Do you actually wish you were her? Like you want to see what all she went through? Like if they just had 1% of the trial that she perhaps went through,
Then
they'll probably quit. It's a very, very painful, isolated, lonely testing phase you have to go through to get to that success, and then perhaps call yourself an entrepreneur.
yeah.
So very interesting.
The other day, it doesn't matter what you call yourself, like who you are what you are.
Exactly.
And you will end up being what you're supposed to be. Right?
Exactly.
Insane.
Like even the entrepreneurial venture you have right now might not be the thing that lasts forever with you.
100%.
You can perhaps leave that, you will perhaps sell that. And after you sell that, what do? You have to do something else. No, you can't just lie on the floor.
Yeah,
Go.
exactly.
I was reading about Minecraft, the founder of Minecraft.
Ah, yeah, what's his name? Notch.
I don't know the
Yeah, his name is Notch. Notch, I think, not his real name. Marcus Pearson or something like that. Yeah.
I don't know the
Yeah.
real name, but he really loved building games or something. And since he was a child, he was like coding and stuff. He started building Minecraft
Absolute legend, bro.
by himself, is what it said. He started building the entire thing himself.
Yeah.
Started gaining traction. He started like getting a team. Things started growing. But then he realized, so he was really, really into building games. He loved building Minecraft, is what he said.
Well, game is about building stuff as well.
But after the thing started growing and taking off, apparently, uh, every single day, 15,000 copies were being bought. That's how in the beginning it was insane. This is before 2013 or something. So he's like very, very successful. But now the problem is he's not able to code the game. He's managing a team. He's doing HR. He's doing all kinds of like
Everything but the
business.
thing he wants to.
Yeah, he's doing all kinds. He's going to meetings. He's hiring people. He's managing all the team drama. He's like it's very counterintuitive of what he wanted to do. Began. He started this, I think, as a passion project. I hope I'm not wrong, but he like started doing it on his own, building Minecraft, and then he put a tweet out. He's saying, "I would be like willing to sell my share. Contact me if anybody's interested to buy this, buy Minecraft." And Microsoft contacted him. Microsoft bought it for 2.5 billion. He took home about 1.6 billion after taxes. So he is a billionaire. Now, what happened to him is after he got so much money, he also like went into this spiral of mental instability because he's super rich. He has nothing to strive for. He's like
entire purpose,
is
the
God.
very reason he started.
He's like I loved building Minecraft, and he's not able to get that love back. He's super rich. He tried building another game, but it didn't work out. He started
It has be as good as Minecraft. Like, how do you follow up with that?
Exactly.
That is insane.
So he is like, he really loved the journey of building Minecraft. But after the company is sold, he is like, I probably think he would like to go back to the early days of building the thing by actually giving back all this money is what I personally would think he's
I
thinking.
think, yeah, 100%.
Because I think he values his own contentment, and right now with all that money, he's not getting the content. Just he apparently bought this 70 or $90 million mansion immediately after he got the money. But he is like, he has the mansion has like swimming pools, candy rooms, everything. But he has everything and he has no purpose. So you can start a company, you can start something. It'll inshallah it'll succeed. But after that, what do you do? So I think if you just chase tons of money, you're going to like probably be in a situation where you have money but no purpose. You have to do something.
Yeah.
It could be from a person's standpoint, family, or it could be like chasing more things.
Yeah, this is like I mean, we are very far off from this point, but
Exactly.
something that I think a lot of successful entrepreneurs will probably end up facing, which is after they exit, after they make their exit, thinking about what next, thinking about what the next stage of their life looks like, what they want to do. That is a very, like big part of their life. Like, how do they want to take things from there on? And could go any direction, right? Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
There was also this other company called Loom, which is like a video sharing for screen. So it's like a screen recording company. In Sapuru, I've heard of it. I think. So the founder, the CTO of the company or something, he sold the company for $975 million, made tons of money, but now he's like really, really trying to think who he is.
Right.
He has tons of money, but nothing to work on. Like I think when you have that much money, you have like so many things you can work on, but you don't like find the thing. Like you don't have the drive or the purpose, or like it's just
That hustle.
yeah, maybe it's a very poor guy. He was also like going through depression, is what I read. But if you like just stays the end goal of tons of money,
I think it's because that when you're so focused on this one thing, you kind of forget what happens after you've actually made it. And nobody really thinks like, it's a continuous journey. Nobody thinks that, oh, after this point, after I exit, after I get the money, after I sell the company, what then? Like, nobody really thinks beyond that point, because I think that they're so in the pursuit of reaching that point that they forget to think beyond that.
exactly.
Right? And it's very interesting.
I think you should just do things throughout your life. I don't think you should like start a company to make tons of money and then retire. I personally don't think it's like that. I think
You'll realize like the money is just a byproduct. At
exactly.
the end of the day,
People say the money I make is me. It just doesn't make sense. You make all that money and then what now? You know, you make all that money and then you try doing something else and
do you know also you also
yeah,
how to enjoy it?
things that's
Such a, yeah.
so.
On this topic, what is your take on investors? The use
What kind of investors?
any investor, like could be venture capitalists, could be individual angel.
For startups itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I so many people are saying that in the beginning, you should choose your investors really well. Whereas a bad investor will really, really cause chaos in your company. So having a good investor on board is not only good from a financial standpoint. I think it's really, really good from a network standpoint, a mentor standpoint, and stuff like that. I would prefer going the investor route than going the taking a debt route. I think that's a better approach. Not only that, if you actually want to build something off scale, if you want to build something huge and scale, you typically need investor no matter how rich you are.
That is true.
You can have $100 million in your bank, and if you want to build a company that's like worth a few $1 billion, actually like big, you need investors at the end of the day. You can't have a company that grows quickly and makes money from itself with no investors. There are companies who have done that.
Like unicorns.
Yeah, they have companies. There are companies who have become unicorns without any investors, but I feel like that's the rare exception. But I think if you actually want to build something of scales, you need
That's a interesting, um, like dynamic that I think it's a very, for a lot, it's just selling yourself again. It's a whole idea of,
exactly.
one, you have to convince the world that your idea is good. You have to convince that it's going to work. You have to convince not just that it worked in the past, but it's going to work in the future as well. And,
Exactly.
there are a lot of big names out there. YC, actually, that's the main one I know.
It's the biggest one.
Biggest one.
Y Combinator.
You wanted to ask me something about Y Combinator.
Um, what I wanted to like talk about was the call for startups. All the ideas they mentioned for startups. It's a. I think it's really good if you actually want to start something and you don't really have an idea about what to start. I think going through the YC papers of calls for startups would be a really good choice.
For those of you who don't know what to talk about again, I'm sure like majority of you would have heard about Y Combinator, but if you haven't, it's basically one of the biggest venture capitalist firms out there that invest in you and your idea. If you have a founder, if you're a single founder, co-founder, whatever your idea is, you can go to their website, apply there, and it's kind of like the typical route for pretty much any huge business to begin. What was the offer again? They have like a standard offer, right?
They have $150,000 with a 7% equity and $350,000 with
Oh, they have two options.
yeah. So it's a 500K money for
Investment.
in that 150K is 7% and the rest of the 350 is uncapped. So whatever you raise the next round, that's how the thing is valued.
Ah,
So they'll give you 150 for the 7%. So what is that? That's like one two almost two like $1 million.
right.
But they'll give you additional 350, and in the next round you raise, you're supposed to match the 350 with the value. So let's say you raise the next round for $350,000 from another investor for 10%, and you're supposed to give YC 10%. So they do that so that you raise it for a really good amount
Right.
of money. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you have any affiliation with YC already, you are in a really good spot.
It's like a stamp that
Exactly.
bears a land.
Yeah, validated, like that's a dream.
The YC like I think it's called what's the thing called the money? I think it's called a safe. The safe is the agreement itself, but the money thing it's a bit complicated. Complicated, like it's a pre-money, post-money calculation, something like that. But very generous though. If it,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but only the top people they believe get into YC. Like they're very picky.
Exactly. Even after being so picky, they're still wrong about a lot of companies. I mean, that's just kind of how investments go, right?
Some
How
of
we
the
are.
companies that YC funded is Reddit, Stripe, Airbnb, Coinbase. Um, if people from the US are listening, it's Instacart. So
Insane.
there's so many.
Crazy number of companies.
But
What was Facebook? No.
no.
I think that there are a lot of huge VCs. I think Google also has some Google Ventures or something. All these companies actually either at some point or the other would have invested in a lot of these unicorn companies as well. If not in the beginning, they realize, oh, should probably put some money in there, and they become a part of the board.
I think the best time to apply to these is if you have a product that at least a few people are using. Then that's like really good. You have traction and you have a team. Like
Yeah,
team as in like if you're just two people, that's enough. I think that's a really good time to like invest in YC.
I think like a lot of people don't realize that if you don't have the product or something to like the idea of launching, this is the most critical part of pretty much any project or venture that you get into. Just do the thing. You get it done. Finish it. Follow through with it. Don't leave it hanging. Don't leave it half done. Just get it done and give it to people. Even if it's bad, it's okay.
Build from there.
Yeah, just build from there.
I think people are like, I have to get tons of money to start.
Or I have to get the perfect product to start.
To start, yeah.
They never reach that stage if they don't just give some.
If you can build a product that basically does the job, it's called so there's the MVP, And apparently, there's a new term. It's called the minimum lovable product. Hmm. If you have a minimum lovable product that few users are using, that's like really good for VCs. VCs are like, this is really good because that actually like it indicates that there's something in the space.
Right.
This product might not be perfect, but these guys can perhaps pull off a product market fit in this area.
Right.
So YCs like really value people who have a product in the market that at least few people are using.
Some traction. I don't think there's anything more valuable than you having just a few users who actually use your product, give you feedback, and that's like a gold mine right there. If you're able to get people to use your thing, whether it's your friends, family, whatever it is, I mean, that is a caveat. Like friends and family, yeah, it depends on the product. Friends and family or obviously is your like first immediate source, but if you get even beyond that, extend it to people who don't know you at all and they give you feedback on your product, that's extremely valuable if you take it and iterate on that. It's very powerful.
So to end this, I think one lesson that I've learned from like YC our approach is in the beginning it should be scrappy.
Yeah, to be like as
You don't start with all the gold and all the money and all the people. You won't have a bunch of people in your team.
this podcast as well. Like,
Yeah. You don't pick camera, you don't have a pipe. Now we don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, you just do the thing.
execute.
Yeah. So really good podcast. I think it's a bit long as well.
If there is any suggestions you guys have, if there's anything you'd like us to talk about or you'd like to see, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.